Good morning. Good morning. It is 0600 hours, 24 minutes, Friday, February 8th, 2019. I was told, good morning. I was told I was extreme and radical with my views and my viewpoints, and even sometimes outside in my actions. My most recent one, I was talking to people outside, and the person told me he had to quiet down because he was around a white man, some white people. But the white man was the closest, so like an Asian looking woman, Chinese, Japanese she was, and my black brother, quote unquote. And I was told to quiet down. I was like, why? Right now, if I get called a nigger, you won't tell that person to quiet down, would you? And if I respond, y'all will say that I'm wrong. But somehow that person calling me a nigger won't get the discipline. He won't get the word said back or anything will be said. Recently seen a young, and this is to break my, this is funny when I hear, and I told the lady I was going to be quiet, but what happened was we got into a disagreement. We finally disagreed because I'm a straight African descendant, quote unquote, black male in America. Why would you ask a straight male about gay men or homosexual men or transgender men? That's what I asked her. I said, I cannot speak on nothing gay. I'm straight. I love the woman. I love everything about the woman. I love the middle of the woman, the outside of the woman. And I love the way a woman looks. I love the soft features. And if she looked like her daddy, she might have some hard features. But at the end of the day, when she spread her legs, there's a woman there. She was born that way. You can't take that away from her. She can do something to change that on the contrary, but that's up to her. But I know that I want a woman that stays a woman her whole life. And I want to be a woman and I want to be with a man because I'm a man looking for a woman. And we got into she said I was take it to the wrong way, but I was trying to end it. I said, well, I don't know how to answer that question. And what she kept doing, and she kept doing this. That's why I said she said I was being harsh on women. And I said, you can't do that. I like no straight man. She's like, I'm gonna ask some other man. I just say it plain. I like no straight man can ask you a question. Now, if you're gonna talk to some gay men, you're gonna ask you a question. But I won't be able to answer your question. I'm sorry. I don't know what you was looking for me to do. If you had a question or you had something to ask me, you should have asked me. Not gay. No, never been gay. I don't want to be gay. Wearing tight clothes don't mean you gay. Back in the day, those guys weren't gay. They was strong men. They were strong, how we call it, masculine men. So it was just dumb for her to ask me that. And then I just said it's just been building up. And she kept doing it. Like if you ask somebody a question and they don't answer it, and they say, well, you get mad in my way. So at the end of the day, I'm learning men, it's a game with women. I learned the women that have less money or that want to be, this is going to happen. And I'm going to say this is new. The women that have money are going to be the women that most, such as you're going to play games with. But the women that don't, that's still looking to be wives and have children and things of that nature and still nurturing, they're going to have less money. That don't mean they're not going to have degrees I don't mean less money. Their mindset is going to be totally different than the women that have money, that worked hard, that may not have children and different aspects of life has come on to her and she's going to use that. But then she's going to want all these perfectness about a man. But that's why I say I am perfect. So when I get to the extreme and radical them, I become controlling. What else I become? I become, they say underlining words as basically overall to call me weak. But I'm saying no, a woman shouldn't do certain things. I'm sorry that this world have gravitated towards the unruly woman. And when I told her that, she laughed. I was like, no, it's I'm joking and I'm laughing. And I said through text, you'd want to always text. I can't hear you or see you through those texts. So for me to be a certain way, I was extreme and radical to her. She said, "Good luck on your requirement." And then she tried to curse me. This is why I want to talk about it. She tried to curse me by saying, "Well, when you have children," I was telling her it's not good to talk to married men. She had a guy she was with. Her first child was from a married man. So I already knew that before she said it. Because she got three or two married men friend, and one is they all in deep relationships. And they're calling and talking to her about things. She's entertaining it. And I said up here, they're single men. I already said, I know your problem. I said, I know you and your friend's problem. You would entertain certain things, but that would make me extreme and radical. Now, when we started talking about life, I was saying, see, she took it offense that about her son. I was telling her, why wouldn't you want to listen to a guy that's a 36-year-old man that live on his own, do everything, and he got a little knowledge in his brain that his father wasn't around. Your son's father is pretty much absent. At least I was just fatherless. I had a less of a father. He was there less of a time. But your son father, he's fatherless in a sense. You only seen him so many times, and he's 9 years old. They peep game. 9 years old, only seen him so many times. So that's absent. He show up to school. That's not even absent when you just skipping class. He just absent. If you only show up to, if you only seen if a whole year go by, so from January 1st to December 31st, a whole year go by, you see your child one time, that's absent. Child support don't mean that you covered what your child need. And to her, I'm not dissing your motherness. You're doing a great motherly job. But at the same time, I was fatherless. You might want to listen to the man. And then I learned she's been established pretty good with her career. So anything I was saying was, I got to have a child. But she would get mad when she tried to talk to women when she's not married and try to talk to other women. But then if you get in the nitty gritty, I don't talk about your past. But when you start telling me your past, I started putting two and two together. And from learning that, she was with a man that was married, just probably, I'm guessing he was just separated because I didn't get in. I don't go in. She was just willingly telling me. And I'm not spreading her business because I'm not saying her name, but this is what she was doing. But then try to do, because I don't have children. I'm telling you, your child need a man in his life. There's a big brother. She's not listening. All she was gravitating to was, I'm not talking to her correctly. This is the third woman that said that. And every woman I said this to, for some odd reason, they all underlying was the same way. They all had established careers. I have established everything. I'm just saving towards my house, building my career. I'm doing all that. Why I'm trying to become independent and get a business and get away where I don't. Once I establish those things, I pay those other things off. I don't need that system no more. They're still in a system. So their mind is still systematic programs. So when I'm extreme and radical, that means your mind is no more systematically programmed. Now you're going to still have some glitches. I might say one thing, then have to go think about it. Like, hold on, damn, hold on. I need to go change this. But that's radical to say, I don't want to be around white people. That's radical. But it's okay when white people go move out in the suburbs and go to their all white schools and don't be around white people. We won't call that extreme and radical. They don't talk to black people. They don't hire black people. I went to an interview. They called me. They seen my credentials on my resume and called me. I went to this interview to an all white company in Niagara Falls. I live in Buffalo, New York at that time. This was like two years ago. I was like, wow, this is a great job. I can make 80,000 plus a year, a single man in his early 30s. People had just retired from the company around the world, the globe, because it's So they needed people at certain spots. In this spot, they was going to hire 1 to 2 people based on that, on what they decide. So that was the first time. No, actually, that was the third time because I've been to many. Because I learned this too. Don't think you're not qualified for a position. We just elected a president that's not even can't even read that well, that can't even write that well, can't spell that well. So think about that. Think about your skills that you have. I have management skill. Any management position come up, whether it's I can manage that position. All I have to do is go educate myself on the position. So when it's time for a question to be asked, I don't never have to touch none of them machines. But let me go study the ins and outs of these machines. This is educating yourself. That's why you don't really need a degree for everything you do. Because if you actually extreme and you're a radical, you see how I'm not, it's not crazy. You're extreme. You're going to the extreme heights of gaining all the knowledge. So when she kept saying, I don't know everything, but I know the basics of. I know a lot of other things that I do know. There's things I do know. I don't know the basics of all things. And that sounds funny. Why should you know the basics of all things? Well, to know the basis of all things, you should be able to look it up. Think about that. The basis of all things is research, is studying. Let me say it again. The basis of all things is research and studying. It has nothing to do if you know how to do it, because that's not what you're doing. And let me finish this real quick before I get into that part. So to understand, I was letting her know your son might need a man, but he needs you to be extra nurturing. And I was giving her different examples. Take him out on a date, how to treat a woman, and also allow him to be aggressive. That is one thing that as a young man without a father don't have is aggressiveness. Because she was focusing on gay men. I was like, why would you focus on gay men when there's straight men around you? Look at the straight men. But then she had a problem with straight men because they're not manly men. So we got to do the double man now. In the last 2 years, we started doing the double. You strong, you straight, you gay, you right, you wrong. That sounds dumb. That's making fun of people that can stutter, and that's making fun of people that have a speech impediment and people having a learning impairment or disability. And I would never do that. That's why I don't talk. Now and they got that from children too. So think about when you're saying things. So at a certain age, I don't incite myself with things as lit. I would say, yes, I'm lit. Lit is a person that's lit up. That means my knowledge can be given out to other people. I am lit. Now, a person that's not lit won't have the knowledge to share and give to other people, but that don't make them less than anything else. That's the only word I would use. Now, them other words I won't use. I'm trying to think of one, but one can't come to my head at this moment, cannot come to this head because I don't use them. Just as I don't use words to degrade. I know the N word because that's the word that I've been called, and I had to go look it up. But other word about other races, nationalities, ethnicities, I don't study them and I don't know them. Now, I may know the cuss word in a different language, but I don't utilize it. I barely utilize the cuss words in the English that came from derived from other languages to make it English. I barely know those words. I barely use those words. If I get mad, I might use them, and sometimes I will. And I won't think twice, and I won't feel bad. Because that's my extreme and radicalness about who I am and why I'm so radical. Because I'm learning there are so many young African descendant young men without father, and then a lot of them that just don't have no knowledge. I do this on the street and I do this online. I don't have a center I go to. That's in the works. I want to do my own solo position. I am my own solo mission because I don't need men to walk with me right now. I want to keep them in their mission. So when we all collaborate, we all come together, cast over, be together, come in. So we already be tried and true in our purpose. So if you're not tried and true in your purpose, it's easy for anybody to come along and say, hey, I want to do this. No, we don't need help. The most that if you're radical and extreme, you're gonna just look for donations. I don't know. I don't need the white people to come help. Go home and teach your sons not to be racist to other people, other race. Just because, and this is funny when I see people, white people adopting little African descendant or African kids per se, literally from Africa. It's funny. Even you got, is it Charlie Theron or Angel Jolene? She adopted an African young man, quote unquote black, and she's letting him wear dresses and letting him look like a girl and giving them hormones. I don't see no purpose of a white person adopting a black person, quote unquote. I don't see that at all. That never makes sense to me because there's white kids that can be adopted as well. Why don't you adopt white kids if you're a white person? Don't give me that you don't see color. That's what I hate as well. I hate when people say I don't see color. We all see color. We all see color. That would make you colorblind. Then you wouldn't know what colors the put together to make another color. Then just say that if it really, and I notice people want to be. This is the funniest part. I even got a guy that I hang around. He's black, but most of the times he's Puerto Rican or Boricua. He's black when he called for it. Even I'm seeing it. And it's this one lady on Instagram go by Nada B, and she from Africa, and she feels so strongly about it because it's so stupid. And she kind of she don't make fun, but it's like a parody of who we are, of how it shows how stupid we are. And I don't put the video in there with Killer Mike. I'm starting to find him because I was talking to the lady. So that was a good thing of talking to her. I found some other brothers that's doing big thing. Q Butter trying to build schools for African descendant young black kids that have a real education. Not when you send your child to school as a higher learner, they're not being educated. Educated means to go out. So the information we learn this is Black History Month. You see, I'm not posting that because throughout the whole, I'm talking black all day. If you look at my videos and you click on the links, you got Martin Luther King, you got the songs, you got the videos that shows racism. You got the videos that show, I gotta find something that shows them helping us. But it would be great if we start helping ourselves more. Help your child. Just because you know what the word diversity means? Divide, verse, city. Divide, diversity. You're dividing in what verse? What verse? So first, second, and third. Upper, what? That's a class. What class are you choosing to put yourself and child in till they're adult to make their decision? And in the city, we're going to place them everywhere and anywhere. Just keep dividing and separating, right? It's called multicultural. But if you want your child to be multicultural, teach them their own history. Teach them the studies of what happened to your mothers and father and your grandfathers and grandmothers. That's cultural. You worrying about they don't know about little Becky and John, little Becky and Bobby. Little Becky and Bobby not being they're getting fed good information. They probably know more about African American History Month than your son and daughter do. I met they knew just as much as me. They knew they was a little older than me. So they would say things. And it was like, they would know the guy said, he said, I love how you are. He said, you don't know, but he said, you learned the truth and you know the basics. And he said, you are extreme. But he said, I'm not going to take nothing away from you. But he said, you know what? I know there's going to be black men and women, quote unquote, African descendant people that will. They're going to deny everything you say. Even if you studied it and they didn't. You can go, and he said, one thing, because it was all he said, he know the world is about. He know that's part of the religion, is part of the command, the art of war. Religion is the overall override of our beliefs. You either a religious person or you black power. There's no in betweener. Then you might have people that's because even atheists fall into religion. I'm very spiritual. That's not a religion. I won't call no name. I will say the name based on the name I was given in the spirit. But the other stuff you have to research. You have to study it. These kids are When they're at home, they're trained and taught and programmed. If they're not telling their child about a black child, and then when they meet us, they're going to ask questions. So why would you send your child that never been around? And then at the same time, you know what you're training your child to do? Hate their own selves. Because they're going to go home and like, why don't we have this? Why don't we do that? Why? It's going to be why? But we got to be still. We're still so many years out. I bet you your child don't even know the year that we are as Americans, since they want to get rid of the first part of everybody name, white, black, Asian, China. As Americans, they don't even know that people that was of African descent was not able to vote. So that started at the truth. Until the beginning of the 70s, you were not able to vote because it was 1967. They don't know. They don't know that. They didn't know that schools was integrated when in the 50s. They don't. I guarantee you, they don't know that. I don't care if they know who Marcus Garvey is or Martin Luther King. Everybody know that. The Japanese know who Martin Luther King is. That's nothing. But I guarantee you, they couldn't give you no in depth about Martin Luther King life or Brother Malcolm or Gandhi. Those African descendant or African men, I guarantee they know about Obama because he was just that was my only president. I don't care what he went past. There's things he wanted to get past, and they slapped him on the wrist, like saying no. He found a way to get rid of the trillions of dollars of debt. You're not gonna do it because we're still owned by the British colonies. They still is the Romans. The Romans didn't change. The name changed. Don't play me. They changed from the British colonies to United States of America. It's still the Roman empires. It's still full of the Dutch, the French, the Russians, the Spaniards, the Spanish, the British. They still own USA, the government, the United Nations. Come on, you got to research this stuff. And that's why I'm extreme and radical, because I know it's more to education. You telling your child there's a Santa Claus, and then the religious people saying that he died and bled on Easter, Resurrection Sunday. We didn't even celebrate Easter. How was it called Resurrection Sunday since the 30s? But remember, Christianity and other religions been around, and all these different things. Those are new. Old practice religions will say those are new. They don't practice that. They don't, because they know that's not real. They know that's been given to us, because that's a false. It's a lie. It's fake. And so if you keep lying and telling children different things, and I'm a type of person, don't tell me that I'm too harsh on women. I show women, I can let show a woman love, my African descendant, quote unquote, black women love all day, every day. But I still would be a nigga to them because I didn't kiss their ass. But the brother that sat there and treated them like shit, the player, the womanizer, the whoremonger, he get the most love because the way he talk lies to her. And I keep telling women, if a man is sugarcoating literally everything he say, he's lying to you. And then you defend that. That's why you in a situation where you are a single mother. Because you don't want to listen to the brother that can love you. You want to listen to the brother that can lie to you. The love nowadays you're receiving is manipulation. I would rather somebody tell me the hard love truth than the soft lying truth. I call it the truth because that's what you want to hear. I don't want to hear the be hard. If love got to be hard on me, I already learned. I wasn't given a letter to get out the well. I was given 2 pegs. And I asked, you'll give me another one so I can put no. Learn, get stronger. Because I'm a man too. I can take a little bit more beating. A man and woman is not supposed to be by themselves. Especially when you have a child that is incomplete. That child will come out incomplete. I don't care. My mother raised me to be a respectable man. She didn't teach me how to be a man. So I learned, even up to now at 36 years of age, I'm learning how to still be a man. That's not bad, but it's also not good. We want to just call it out and say, well, man, that made me hard. Yeah, that's cool. That made me strong. That made you strong. But it'd be great, too, to have a man in your life that'll show you how to do certain things so it won't be hard on you. Why you think the other races are better? Their sons are. So if a man ever took a woman out on a date, why would a young man, unless he go on a cup, why would I be able to do a lot of things without doing them first? I don't know when that started going over our heads. And this is just a talk. This making me extreme and radical for saying this truth. I'm gonna stay extreme and radical all day. If you never done something, how would you be a failure at it? You just haven't been successful because you learning how to do it. So you are success until you finish it. You're full. It's fulfilled. You got a business and it didn't make it. That don't make it a failure. You still learning. How you fail from learning? You don't fail. Only time you fail is when you don't try and you don't do. I've done everything I wanted to do. Now I know, okay, I got to do it differently if I want to be successful. And I hope my words not going in and out of someone's ears that is listening or that watches every once in a while. Fast forward, speed up. I know I can go a different way, but I'm giving everything that I didn't have. And I know as young men and women that sit on online all day, they watch mess all day. And I want to be the mess that actually have some type of knowledge to it that they watch all day. That's why I do this. And I go outside, I ask young men what you want to be. Go ask random young men what they want to be. You're not going to be shocked because remember, you was them before. You didn't know. You had an idea. But imagine this. Somebody said, I wanted to be a doctor. Imagine if somebody said, how you going to get there? You say, I don't know. And then you say, there's scholarships. You take them to the library. You show them. You get them the scholarships. And they say, it's some books too. Come over here. Let's go get some books. Before you can read. You ain't got to study because you don't know what to prepare for yet. I haven't took the doctor's course or went to get my master's or to get my PhD in doctor, whatever doctor I wanted to be, a medical doctor or whatever. So I wouldn't know. But I would say there's a path that you can take and then still enjoy your life and still have fun. But it was time to even in people in college dropouts. Partying in college is fun, but make sure your paperwork is done. Party in college is fun, but make sure your paperwork is done. And this year too, I'm going to dive in and step in more into the education side. I want to see more African young descendant black, quote unquote, black men or women being more educated, not by the college, by the skills you can have. Like a young man know how to change a tire, know how to fix a heater, know how to fix a radiator, know how to do carpentry, welding, construction, laboring. Those are skills that's and you paint and do different things. You'll always have a way to make money. Young women, we get their brains good so they don't have to strip. Let them come up with ideas. But when a man and woman stand together, that woman won't have to strip. I see so many women, then I see them with dudes. I was like, I'm supporting you beyond the I want to see you naked. I want to see you out of this. I don't want you staying in. They start building a career around it. I see the women talk about I'm a future lawyer and you getting naked. Like you may not care about that past, but it's somebody and we people saying it don't matter. And I'm tired of seeing my African descendant, quote unquote, black woman thinking that it's okay to be naked, do porn and do all of this and expect these men to want them. You're not Becky. Stop thinking you're Becky. I don't do a lot of things because I know I'm not going to get away with it. Because if I did, I'm going to get shot. I'm not going to have nobody right now. There's nobody on my side besides my family I stick to. But besides that and my friends I have and the people I'm associated really close. Besides that, nobody's on my side. And none of them none of them are not a lawyer. So I got to move a certain way. See, you don't get that because you're a woman. You only going to see that woman going to see a certain way. She going to say, even with my friend, I was showing love, but she never seen it. Even the last lady I dated, last three women I dated, I was showing them love. They didn't see it. Only thing they ever seen was I was being too hard on them. That's all they would say. But the niggas that was trying to bang them and do all this, they was in love with them. Cause he was selling them a dream. Just as when a man, I can give you the world. I can give you the world. Where else everybody else gonna live? Who else gonna prosper with us? How we gonna have a business? Like, so you want me to be the king but take over? So you want me to be a destroyer? Because you're not gonna take over with everybody. My job is to reach. My mission is to reach the people I'm gonna reach. I'm not worried about everybody. And hopefully they right hand and left hand can see them doing great. And they probably be intrigued by, okay, what they looking at, what they listen. Let's all work together. What I say onto one, I say onto all. Is your path, is your journey, is your choice. Choose wisely. If you extreme and radical, keep on being it. Oh, excuse me. I don't care if it's for the good. We'll work on the other details later. You have a great day. I hope a lot of my lives help someone understand. And it's not as you think. Try to incorporate a good amount of different knowledge. Be knowledgeable in your life. Don't just have higher learning in a college degree. Educate yourself. Go to the library, read yourself. Go study for yourself. Go do it on your own time. Don't wait till you got to go do it just for a project. Do it on your own time. There's so much knowledge out there you can be learning than just sitting on the computers and the internet. You can be finding about these degrees and school. If you want to go to those schools, but it's a school system still. And while you're there, go educate yourself. Go learn a history about the school. Then go learn a history where the place you're at. That's education. You're going out and seeking some information that you didn't have before that nobody can take away from you. Remember that the knowledge and the education you have, nobody can take that away. Forget the degree and things. They can take that. They can take awards and trophies from you, but the knowledge in your mind, nobody can take that. Shalom.